Brock Lesnar scared of Cody Rhodes after Raw, Triple H to leave WWE draft. Roman Reigns loses his titles and goes solo WWE Raw. Dom is nervous with Vince McMahon around, Triple H to give Bray Wyatt to AEW. Name change for WrestleMania Backlash. Let's jump right into it. WWE Draft. Roman Reigns loses his titles and goes solo. The WWE Draft is back. Fans and insiders alike have been speculating about a potential return of the exciting event off and on for over a year, and now it has officially been confirmed. During an in-ring promo from Triple H on the most recent episode of SmackDown, it was announced that the WWE Draft is returning in the coming weeks and will include every superstar and change the game. While details are still quite limited, the game's promise of every superstar being available is interesting, especially for some of the bigger names in the company. More specifically, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa, collectively known as the Bloodline. Could the Bloodline be affected by the upcoming draft? Could there be massive ramifications on the biggest prize in the sport? Could a legendary team end up split apart? This video will look at a few changes that may happen with the Bloodline courtesy of the upcoming draft. Here are 5 ways the WWE Draft could dramatically impact the Bloodline. Number 5. The Bloodline could be kept to one show moving forward. The Bloodline is the top act in WWE, and if you're a fan of both main roster programs, you've certainly gotten your fill of the stable. The dominant faction regularly appears on both Raw and SmackDown. This was initially explained due to Roman Reigns holding both the WWE and Universal Championship, and then later, the Usos having both the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles. Over time, however, it has become common practice thanks to a more relaxed approach to the brand extension. With the upcoming draft, there's a chance that a more rigid brand extension could take effect. If so, it may mean that the Bloodline will remain on just one show going forward. This could be SmackDown or Raw, but regardless, they may no longer travel from show to show. Number 4. Solo Sikoa could go back to being on his own. While most fans know Solo Sikoa as the dominant member of the Bloodline who stands by Roman Reigns and at times the Usos, NXT fans remember the talented Simone a little differently. The Street Champion debuted on NXT proclaiming himself to be the outcast of the family. He was raised on the streets and overcame the odds all by himself. He eventually mended fences with the family, but he may end up going his own way again. The WWE Draft could separate Solo from his family. He could be sent to Raw while the other stars remain on SmackDown. There's also a chance that the opposite will happen. Regardless, Sikoa may go solo once again. Number 3. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship could be split. Roman Reigns is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. He first won the Universal title back in 2020. He captured the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 38 in a title match against Brock Lesnar. Being a champion of both brands has been quite demanding, especially with Reigns' limited schedule. It could be argued that both brands are damaged, however, by not having a full-time active champion on the show. This could change courtesy of the draft. Roman may be stripped of a title so that one brand still has a champion even if he's drafted to the other. There's also a chance he'll remain on both shows, but will be forced to defend the titles individually. Number 2. The Usos could be split apart in the draft. The Usos are arguably the greatest tag team in WWE history. They have won 8 tag team titles together throughout their tenure in the company. In fact, their last reign as tag champions was the longest in the company's history. Still, just because they've been a tag team doesn't mean they can't work well individually. Jey Uso was dubbed Main Event G for his singles prowess and even won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal a few years ago. The popular tag team can be drafted individually and thus split up. For example, Jimmy could be sent to Raw while Jey remains a top star on SmackDown. This would cause both members to sink or swim on their own. Number 1. Roman Reigns could be left all alone. As noted, Roman Reigns is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. His title reign has been incredible. He's rapidly approaching the staggering milestone of 1,000 days straight as champion. With that being said, he hasn't reached that milestone on his own. Roman has had a lot of help from the likes of Paul Heyman, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and even Sami Zayn prior to him exiting the faction. There's a chance that changes moving forward, however. Roman could be drafted away from every other member of the stable. If this happens, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion will be without his family for the first time in years. How will he fare on his own? Dom is nervous with Vince around. This week's episode of WWE Raw went through several changes before going on air, and it appears that Dominic and Rey Mysterio kicking off the show could have been one of the late additions. This led to a few botches from Dom, and fans on Twitter reacted to the mistakes of the 26-year-old. Dominic interrupted his father's promo and fluffed his lines several times. He boxed once when he was first making his way out to the ring and attempted to tell his father to keep his name out of his mouth. The youngster has been seen as one of the best heels in the company in recent weeks, so this rare botch was spotted by several members of the WWE Universe, who had some interesting reaction. One fan went as far as to blame Vince McMahon and the last-minute changes on Raw for Dominic's nerves on the mic. Dominic was later joined by Judgment Day teammate Finn Balor, who took on his father after the former tag team champion refused. The issues between the two stars are far from over, and the proceedings on Raw could now be building to a huge showdown at SummerSlam in a few months' time. Do you think Dominic Mysterio should be handed a rematch against his father? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Triple H to give Bray Wyatt to AEW. In the twilight of Bray Wyatt's first run in WWE as the Eater of World, he formed an unlikely partnership with current AEW star and industry legend Matt Hardy. The duo were together dubbed the Delators of World. This came after Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt feuded against one another for months. The cult leader found perhaps an equal in Hardy, or maybe even a master, as Bray Wyatt made his presence felt during the Ender the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 34, assisting Matt Hardy to score a victory. Amid the poor reputation the former Universal Champion has garnered since his return, WWE Hall of Famer Road Dogg has revealed that he struggled to understand the characters of Woken Matt Hardy and Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt when the two teamed up back in 2018. In response, the WWE Universe has voiced their take on Bray's tag team partnership with the current AEW star. Bray Wyatt's whereabouts are top secret, and only a few within the company are aware of what the plans are for the former world champion. During Wyatt and Hardy's team up as the Delators of Worlds, Road Dogg Brian James worked as a producer for WWE. He is now the senior vice president of live events for the company. On his podcast, Oh You Didn't Know, James discussed WrestleMania 34 and the struggle he faced to work on something creative for the pairing of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I didn't get the broken character. I never got it. I don't understand it. If there's something to understand, I would love to know what that is. But he just changed and talked differently. I don't know. I didn't see the transformation or follow it. I never got it. That was not me writing that. We put him with Bray because we thought together they could really be this cool entity, but I will say no, we didn't know what to do with them, Road Dogg said. The WWE Hall of Famer further speculated on whether the former world champions knew for themselves what they were trying to do. We let them be their creative selves, and this is horrible. And I don't mean to say it like this, but I don't think they knew at that time what they were trying to do. I don't think they knew, I don't think we knew, and together it made a who knew stew. And so it turned out as such. I will take some heat for that, no two ways about it. I just don't know if anybody else who should will. It remains to be seen how WWE will utilize Bray Wyatt upon return. Hall of Famer Booker T recently assessed why fans turned on Wyatt and what he needs to do in order to get back on track. What are your thoughts on the tag team and Bray Wyatt resurfacing in WWE after WrestleMania 39 omission? Sound off in the comments section below. Triple H to leave WWE. Vince McMahon's return has inarguably impacted the backstage dynamic within WWE, with questions about Triple H's position now being raised. Vince Russo recently opened up about Triple H's current predicament and admitted he wouldn't be surprised if the game left WWE altogether. The pro wrestling landscape has seemingly changed following WWE's merger with UFC, as Vince McMahon is back in power and also heavily influenced the creative of last week's Raw. Triple H might not be the undisputed shot caller anymore, with every decision allegedly requiring McMahon's seal of approval. Vince Russo argued that Vincent Kennedy McMahon once again had Triple H in the palm of his hand and claimed that the cerebral assassin could realistically walk away from WWE. Russo mentioned three possibilities for Triple H if he were to depart the company, with AEW being a potential destination for the former WWE champion. While Russo was aware that Triple H might not even need to work anymore, considering the money he's made throughout his career, he couldn't help but think of a scenario where Vince McMahon's son-in-law strikes a deal with Tony Khan. Here's what the outspoken wrestling personality explained on the latest episode of Writing with Russo. Listen, man, you and I both know Hunter is a millionaire 10 million times over. But bro, right now, no matter how you look at it, Vince has him right here. Points to the palm of his hand. Vince can make him and Vince can break him, and like I said, man, yes, Triple H is in a position where he can walk away. Perhaps he can go to Tony Khan and say, Tony, you want somebody to run your company that really knows what they are doing. While sitting at home or heading to AEW are two options. Vince Russo believes Triple H is also capable enough of establishing a new wrestling organization. The retired pro wrestler is one of the most respected names in the business and has often been praised for helping develop several new talents using the NXT model. Russo noted that Triple H has the money, contacts, and experience to gather the resources required to set up a wrestling company, which would also mean he is no longer under the control of Vince McMahon. Vince Russo added that he would not want to be in Triple H's shoes right now, as he felt the 53-year-old was under McMahon's thumb despite doing a phenomenal job as a booker over the past several months. Russo continued, but of course, the guy has the money, the experience, the contacts to be able to get investors if he ever wanted to start his own wrestling promotion, and he would never have to worry about Vince McMahon again. Let's be honest, bro, he is so under Vince's thumb right now. I just would hate to be in his position. While it may seem highly unlikely, do you see Triple H ever leaving WWE to embark on a new journey? Sound it off in the comments section below. Name change for WrestleMania Backlash. WrestleMania is officially over for another year, and WWE is now focused on the upcoming Backlash event, which will take place in around 3 weeks' time. However, a bit of confusion may have risen following an apparent botch from Cody Rhodes on the latest episode of Raw. The company appeared to drop a bombshell that Backlash will now be called WrestleMania Backlash following Cody Rhodes' promo on WWE Raw. The former Intercontinental Champion challenged Brock Lesnar to a match as part of the show following last week's assault and referred to the show as WrestleMania Backlash. Up until now, the show has been advertised as just Backlash, but in years gone by, the show has been called WrestleMania Backlash, so it would make sense if this wasn't a mistake. That being said, the WWE Universe has been reacting in a hilarious manner online at the concept of the show's name being changed in the lead-up to the event. As of writing, it's unclear if Cody Rhodes did botch the name since he was part of last year's WrestleMania Backlash. That being said, a trailer was played for the upcoming show in Puerto Rico following the promo from Rhodes, and it was still being called Backlash. Do you think the promotion should remain the upcoming event? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Brock Lesnar scared of Cody Rhodes after WWE Raw. The wrestling world has given their brutally honest opinion and believes that Brock Lesnar is frightened of Cody Rhodes after the latter challenged the Beast on the latest episode of WWE Raw. Tonight, the American Nightmare has declared his intention to challenge Lesnar. Rhodes would respond to an assault from the former WWE champion on last week's Monday Night Raw. Cody revealed that despite his dread of Brock, he intends to transform the Beast incarnate into his victim. He announced his confrontation with Brock Lesnar, asking the Beast to answer the call for a showdown at WWE Backlash. The WWE Universe took to Twitter to agree with Cody Rhodes that Lesnar attacked him because he was intimidated by the former's spotlight. Some fans shared that Brock Lesnar was terrified of Rhodes because he attacked the latter from behind and didn't show up on tonight's WWE Raw. Meanwhile, some WWE fans clearly understand what the Beast is a dominant force inside the ring. Hence, fans stated that the American Nightmare needs a study guide to fight Lesnar. It remains to be seen if the Beast incarnate will accept Cody Rhodes' challenge for WWE Backlash. What did you think of Rhodes' promo? Sound off in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take